Hello, I'm Clayton Burch, State Superintendent of Schools. As we return back to in-person instruction, we've continued our quest of seeking input from teachers, from students, from central office, service personnel across the state. I continue to thank those that invited me during the fall semester to visit their schools, and this past week I had the opportunity to take 2 full days and be in Wyoming County and McDowell County. Ms. Deidre Klein, Ms. Carolyn Phelan, superintendents of each county, were very gracious in giving me a full day's access in both counties. We started our Thursday off in Wyoming County. What a wonderful, wonderful visit to be able to have time in each of these counties to talk with teachers, to talk with students, service personnel, the community members, the central office staff of how the return was, pros and cons, what's working and what's not working. The visits included Pineville Elementary School, Pineville Middle School, Wyoming East High School, Wyoming County Career and Technical Center, and the Wyoming County Board Office. I cannot thank each one of those administrators and staff enough. Their hospitality was tremendous. There are many, many things I want to talk to you about today that were striking about the visit. The honesty of students, of staff, of their concerns, and the legitimacy of those concerns. We definitely want to talk. On Friday, we spent the day in McDowell County, Yeager Elementary School, Sandy River Middle School, Riverview High School, and the McDowell County Central Office staff. Again, I just have to thank each and every one of those schools, the students, the staff, and even in some cases the parents who were able to join us for some dialogue. Here's what my biggest takeaways are from those visits. First and foremost, the majority of my time was spent with students. Listening to students from high school, middle school, our career tech centers, and in many cases even our elementary students clear down into kindergarten. They all had similar concerns. None of the students we met with, they all had struggles with remote and virtual. It was very reassuring to hear students talk about the importance of being in school. They want to be in school. They want to be in school full time. And I love that our counties are transitioning to that. We got to see the transition in Wyoming County already to 4 days, moving to 5, and I believe in McDowell County are beginning to transition the next couple of weeks to more in-person days. The students also were very open and honest about their friends that they've not seen, friends that are not engaging or logging onto the computers who are doing poorly academically. They really felt for the friends that did not have access and were not engaged with the school. In many cases, our high school students did talk pretty openly about mental health, about their own futures and fears, everything from being college ready and finishing their career technical education certifications. Our kindergartners were very open, and if you've never sat down and spent some time with a kindergartner, they're going to be very, very open and transparent. They just wanted to be around their friends. And it was very, very reassuring and heartwarming to hear and see so many students recognize the importance of school. They recognize their teachers, they recognize their counselors, they recognize their administrators. The Wyoming East High School students that are out there even spoke of their renewed appreciation for the janitor and their custodians and the folks that are in the cafeteria and their bus drivers. They were just so appreciative of so many people that they felt looked after them and took care of them during the pandemic. But again, they were all so glad to be back in. They talked about the issues with internet equity. I was very appreciative. They did talk about the food insecurities that we've heard about. Very appreciative of what each of the counties were able to do for them. We then spent time with a selection of teachers, some roundtables with teachers. Again, it was pretty much a common theme throughout the counties. I just thank them so much for their candidness on virtual education, remote education, their ideas about how to look at those a little differently in the future. And in each case, every school we went to, they were very, very supportive and very much in favor of each one of these children. They need time. There wasn't a lot that any one of these teachers asked if they needed anything. It wasn't about anything money could purchase. The biggest need we heard these teachers talk about was time with their students in person to assist them. And the assistance ranged everything from supports and social emotional and counseling to the academics. And getting them back to some type of normalcy. So not only did we want to thank the teachers and the students, let's come back to the overall visits and lessons learned from the West Virginia Department of Education. There was so much energy in the air as the students and teachers explained their experiences. They shared sentiments about the important role the school plays in their lives, their communities. The youngest learners at the elementary schools were all on task. They had no problem wearing their masks. The engagement I witnessed was a testament of the commitment of the teachers. The teachers were absolutely taking advantage of every second they had these students in front of them and could keep them and get them engaged. In fact, one fourth grader at Palmview Elementary even suggested some ideas of how to make the school even better as we look to summer learning and summer camps. And she was so excited to be back to school that she actually suggested that maybe what we need in each and every classroom is a disco ball. And that would just make it so much more fun to be in school. The efforts the county's put forth, what they've done in this time of crisis was amazing. I got to actually spend time in a virtual after-school program in McDowell County that was both impressive and I definitely want to reach out to a young man there named Grayson and tell him he is always welcome to do the weather for any upcoming event for the Department of Education. The innovation, the commitment was amazing. But the question will become, what are we going to do with what we've learned on that trip? First, I'll be doing a full debrief with the State Board of Education. I want to share these experiences with as many people that we can, everybody from legislators to education leaders. And I want to use these conversations from children and teachers to help inform those important decisions we need to do in the future. We're getting better, we're getting back on track, we're bringing normalcy as best we can to the children. And the more we transition our children back to 5 days in person, it's going to be better for everyone. So with that, Wyoming, McDowell County, thank you so much for our visit last week.